What's going on, family? This is Commissioner Salim Adofo, uh, Chair of Advisory Neighborhood Commission 8C. How y'all feeling? We're about to get started in a second on some things. Wanted to talk to y'all today about some of the gun violence that's happening in our community and what we can do to address it. Last week, the Council of the District of Columbia held a hearing. Judiciary and Public Safety Committee held the hearing. It was a round table on gun violence. And I think it was pretty important because it allowed us to see what some of the different agencies that the city has and how they're addressing this issue around gun violence. And so what we should be thinking about is, how are we going to be responsible for some of these things in our community? And I think that it's important for us to really look inward and see what we're going to be able to do. How are we going to be responsible in our community, and how are we going to take responsible? How are we going to be responsible? How are we going to take responsibility for addressing some of these things? And so the hearing has already happened, but the public record is still available. And so we can still get on the record. I'm asking everybody to send me all of your thoughts and comments, and send me some of the things, because tonight at the ANC meeting, we're asking people to come out. Definitely still got to be masked. We're indoors, but we're asking you to come out to the ANC 8C meeting so we can get everything on the official record and make recommendations. We want to see some of those things that, you're talking about, how we can implement some of those things, right? And so the reason why that's important is I see a lot of people post stuff on social media. I see some of the comments, and that's good. So take that advocacy to another level. If you can write 3 or 4 paragraphs on what's wrong or what we should be doing, put that on, a piece of paper and an email and send it to one of the council members, send it to your advisory neighborhood commissioner, and let's get that documented and let's get that, implemented. If you know an idea that you think could work, we got to do it, right? We got to implement it. We got to send it forward. Let's do more than just argue about it or have some social commentary, because whatever we've been doing isn't working at the level in which we need it to work. So we need everybody to participate in this, right? We need everybody to have input. We're only going to be as strong as everybody else that's participating, right? They say you're only as strong as your weakest link. So don't be the weak link, right? We need everybody to get engaged and get involved. None of us have the answer all by ourselves. And in fact, the more people that engage and participate, the better. So I actually have a survey that people can fill out, and everything is lowercase. It's bit.ly/reduce gun violence. bit.ly/reduce gun violence. And if you go in there, then you can see the survey. You can fill it out, and then you can give us the opportunity to get your comments and thoughts and see how we can make that happen. So we need everybody to come out and get engaged and get involved and be a part of the solution. It does us no good if we got a lot of people just sharing comments via social media and not getting engaged. So we're going to be at the Rise Demonstration Center tonight. It'll be at 6:30. We're going to put forth a resolution to take all of the recommendations that we're getting from people, and we want to push that forward. We want to push that out to the mayor, to the attorney general, to the Council of the District of Columbia, and say, hey, this is what we got from the community. This is the feedback, and here are the recommendations. But we need everybody to get engaged. This has to be a full contact sport. We got to get off the sidelines and get on the front lines. We got to get everybody to document what they're saying and push it forward. We know how this stuff goes. If it ain't on paper, then it didn't happen, right? So we need you all to, just get engaged and share your thoughts. What's going on, Miss Tara? What's going on, Miss Lisa? Hopefully y'all can, share some of this stuff with everybody, and that we can get to, addressing some of these solutions. Now, some of the things that we've been doing definitely as a commission A lot of stuff has seemed to be centered around what's been happening with a couple of the liquor stores in the community. So I want to talk about some of those things and try to bring some clarity to that. So we're not saying that there can be no alcohol in the community. This is not prohibition. But what we are saying is that in a community that has low economic development, that is segregated in a space to where there is no grocery stores, no banks, right? We can't get fruits or vegetables, and you have 7 liquor stores, 5 check cashing places, and a bunch of places that sell fried chicken. That's a recipe for disaster. And we can see that because this is the lived experience. I've walked up and down MLK several times over the last few weeks, and I just see people just laying out on the streets. There are homeless shelters in the community, and it's like almost as if they get $3 or $4 and they run right to the liquor store. So some people have an addiction that they're trying to overcome. And we want to help create an environment to where they can overcome that. We want to be helpful, right? We don't want to keep putting things in the space to make it more difficult. And we know we're dealing with adults, and we know that they have a responsibility to themselves, but we have a responsibility as well. And as an advisory neighborhood commissioner, we get 2 options. ABRA, the Alcohol Beverage Regulation Administration, contacts us and says, hey, this license is up for renewal. You can do one of 2 things. You can either say you want to protest it or not. Make a recommendation to have it renewed or not. Those are the only 2 options. And when you choose to protest it, which simply means that you don't think that the license should be renewed based upon these grounds, and they give you some criteria, at a bare minimum, it forces a mediation. It is in that mediation to where then we can say, hey, these are some of the things we think you need to do to improve. But if we don't protest it, then we can't legally be bound to that mediation. So we need both parties to get involved. But that's just one small piece of the puzzle. Like, we want to see a healthier community. We want a healthier Ward 8. What does a healthier Ward 8 looks like? So in terms of addressing some of the things around violence, some of the things that we've done are looking at the infrastructure of the community. We've been advocating to get the roads repaved, to get signs fixed, to get speed humps put in. And all of those things are important when we want to have a safe and healthier community. Getting trash cans put up, right? So we don't want people just throwing trash on the ground because there's no trash cans, so we get those things put up. I advocated, along with some other commissioners, to have UDC bring a workforce development campus to Congress Heights. It's right across the street from the intersection of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. So we canvassed the community. Myself and other community members have numerous times to say, hey, here's an opportunity for you for construction management, IT, plumbing, carpentry. What else do they have? HVAC, electrical, childcare, and all you have to do is be a DC resident. Just have your ID and be able to show that you're a resident, and the cost is free. The cost is free. Well, hold on, let me take that back. The cost isn't free. You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. So the cost isn't all the way free, but people need to be able to pay attention. And that's important. So we've done that. We've adopted the block. We have community cleanups at that park right in the intersection of Malcolm and Martin every month. We do our Feed the Hood project. We've worked with UPO to bring resources out into the community. And that's still not enough, right? So I don't want people to think that we're just saying, hey, we just want to shut down a liquor store and that's supposed to solve all of our problems. No, shutting down one liquor store in and of itself does not fix all of the issues that we have. But everybody has a role to play. DDOT has a role, DPW has a role, the health department has a role, and as advisory neighborhood commissioners, one of our roles is to make recommendations to ABRA, the Alcohol Beverage Regulation Administration, on do we recommend or not recommend the renewal of a license. And we're waiting for the documented feedback now, but after speaking to an ABRA investigator, they found that Mart Liquor sells alcohol to minors. Do we want to still have stores in our community that sells alcohol to minors? Personally, I don't think so. And I think there are a lot of other people that would agree to that. The other thing is that we have so many in one area, right? Why do we have so many in one area? I don't think it's necessary for us to have all of those liquor stores in one area, especially close to schools. That's just not healthy for us. And we just gotta be honest and look at the impact that it's having, right? We're not just trying to pull stuff out of thin air. We're saying, hey, what can we do to help make this community better? And it's kind of like what Furious Styles talked about in Boys in the Hood, right? He talked about gentrification. He's like, why there's so many liquor stores on the corners in the black community? Why? Because he said they want us to kill ourselves, right? When we have stores that sell mind-altering substances in close proximity to children, we get what we've gotten. So, healthier communities just don't have that. We have better options. But not only that, clearly they know that there's an issue with gun violence because they're selling the liquor to us behind bulletproof glass. So we all know that there's some issues to that. So we got to do all we can to address it. We got to have a holistic approach. So I'm asking everybody that even disagrees with our approach, hit us up. Come out to the meeting. Let us know what's going on. Let us know your opinion so that we can struggle around this, right? We got to organize. It would do us a better service to come to the meeting and to hash out our differences and figure out what the solution is than to be on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram just telling each other, oh, this won't work, right? We got to work together on some of these things. We got to struggle with each other. And we got to politically educate each other on some of these things. We don't need to fight each other because while we're fighting each other, folks are setting up businesses in our community, exploiting us, getting the money and getting rich and going some other place. While we're fighting each other, people are buying up the property and then renting it back to us. So we got to do a better job at organizing in our community. We will get what we organize for. Have we organized for anything? Whenever we meet with somebody that's in an elected position, we should be trying to come out of there with a policy change or some money to do something. That's it. Sometimes we settle for just being in the space and, taking some pictures and things like that. And I get it, I understand. But we need to be able to say, hey, what can you do for us? And if we can't do it, then we don't support that person and we put somebody else in there who can. That goes for me, that goes for anybody. If we can't deliver on things that we're supposed to do in these positions, then we got to get people in here who can. And so I want to make sure that everybody is coming out to the meeting tonight, 6:30 at the Rise Demonstration Center. We need y'all there. We need to hear what you got to say so that we can put forth a resolution that's on behalf of the people. Now, we've sent this out via text message, email, using social media to get this stuff out. And we want to be able to put something, forward and say, hey, we've talked to the community. This is the feedback we've gotten. We're having a community meeting tonight. You can come out. We'll finalize what this resolution is going to be, and then we're going to send it forward on the community's behalf. But we need y'all to be here. We need y'all to participate. If you don't, then it's going to be limited. And the more people we can get to participate, the better it'll be. So we really need everybody's support on this. Because if we don't do it, who else will, right? We got to be responsible for the things that happen in our community. We will get what we organize for. If we don't organize for it, then we won't get it, right? We got to start to put things in the budget. We got to start to have budget requests and have them early. The budget is proposed, somewhere around springtime usually. That means a lot of the stuff has been decided. Let's get ahead of the game. Let's get to some of these agencies in August and in September saying, hey, here are our priorities, and this is what we want to see, right? So that's how we can start to address some of these social ills and some of these under-resourced institutions that we have in our community. So we want to see everybody out. It's 6:30 tonight at 2730 MLK at the Rise Demonstration Center. So come prepared. Come with some of your solutions, and let's see how, we can get this thing, solved, because we don't want to keep coming back to the same space, having prayer vigils and talking about, we got to stop the violence, right? We know we need to do those things, and we know that we're not going to fix it overnight, but we need everybody's participation in this. We need everybody's participation in this. This is all hands on deck kind of approach. Because if we don't fix it, who else will? We can't expect the people who are guilty of creating the conditions in which we're in to be the persons to solve this problem, because they're profiting off of our oppression, right? They're profiting off of our oppression. You got corporations that make billions and trillions of dollars in promoting video games, movies, music, magazines, all of this stuff that talks about violence. I've never even played Grand Theft Auto, but from what I hear, it's a game that's centered around violence in our communities, and these corporations are getting off scot-free, right? They make trillions of dollars of marketing these things to young children, and everybody has a role to play. So we got to address that too, right? We got to look at who profits off of some of these things. We got to become critical thinkers and dig deeper, right? The problem just isn't us on the corner, it's the unseen hand as well. So, we got to study. I would encourage everybody, because this month is Black August, Malcolm X on Afro-American history. Check out that book, or check out the autobiography of Assata Shakur. Check out the autobiography of Assata Shakur. Check out Malcolm X on Afro-American history. These books will help us become, better critical thinkers. Real quick, definitely want to give a shout out to everybody that came out to 100 Black Men for Peace and Empowerment. Thank you to everybody that shared it, participated in it. What we did do is we went door to door, talked to people about some of the things that they need, and let them know and connect them to resources such as the Stay DC program, where they can get 15 months of unrent paid, as well as their utilities. We advocated for getting more mental health resources in the budget this year, and so we went to talk to people about what's available for them in terms of the crisis teams that the Department of Behavioral Health has, and we also talked to people about entrepreneurship programs and workforce development at UDC, and we went door to door to talk to people about it, because a lot of times I hear people say, I never heard about this, or they never said anything, so we wanted to close that gap. And we canvassed the community, and we're going to be out again probably another 2 weeks. We want to get some more resources to get back out there. And a big project that we're working on is the Black Male Wellness Retreat. We want to take some young brothers about the city and give them a chance to see something different and just breathe some different air, because there's just so much going on. So we got a few ways that you can come out and support. It's really appreciated, but we need everybody to come out to tonight's meeting. You got to come out. You got to get engaged. You got to get involved. This is not a spectator sport. We got to have as much participation as we possibly can. We got to get people to, get engaged. Like I said, if you can write 2 or 3 paragraphs on social media, just copy and paste that and send that in the email, and that's testimony at a hearing. That's a recommendation that can be made. What I'm learning is that we don't advocate enough from our community. We need more people on the official record to advocate for the things that we need. So we need everybody to get engaged and get involved. Rise Demonstration Center, 2730 MLK Avenue, Southeast, tonight at 6:30. We'll have some refreshments. We'll have some light refreshments for folks. So come on out, get engaged, and let's do our part to try to make the community better. We need you to be involved, and you can definitely bring a friend. Got to wear a mask, be socially distant. We got all of those things that we know we need to do. And it's up to us, right? We're going to get what we organize for. Let me say that again. We are going to get what we organize for. If we don't organize for it, then it's not going to come. It just doesn't pop up out of thin air, right? We got to be the ones to say, hey, this is what we want to see in our community. Because if we don't do it, then who will, right? All right, so I'll see y'all later tonight. 6:30 sharp. The meeting starts at 6:30. We don't do CPT time, none of that. We're going to be on point. We won't waste nobody's time. Make sure that you can fill out the survey. It's bit.ly/reduce gun violence. And I'll see y'all tonight. Peace.